Hi guys, Super Secret Tech here. I'm going to be doing a match for a modern deck I've been working on. After Worlds, I got really interested in playing a blue-white-red deck for modern, um, and this is kind of my own version of said deck. We're going up against the Blister Corn Weird combo, um, where they just basically can kill you in a turn. And that's the reason that I Lightning Helix now, because once he gets going, it's really, really hard to deal with that deck. There's not a whole lot of turn 1 and turn 2 and turn 3 combos. This is one of the decks that can actually combo out on turn 2. So if you see a Blister Cord Weird, like it's a really good idea to get it off the board as quickly as humanly possible. So what he's doing now is he's searching for another one. And we're just going to play an Aaron Mason past the turn. Um, as long as he doesn't have a weird on the board, his deck's pretty non-threatening. It's a grape shot combo, and so he can't really storm off and win um, without that. Here, it's really important to get 3 blue mana up so you can activate Cryptic Command. So the first 3 I always get are blue if I have the ability to search for it, and then whatever colors I'm needing. With this hand, red seems more viable than white does, just because I have 2 red spells. Now I have a couple of different options here. I can Mana Leak, or I can Electrolyze. I'm going to go ahead and run out the leak here. Just because the reason I did that is because he can easily build it up to +2 for my Electrolyze to deal with it. The other thing is, like, if you're going to burn a weird out, it's best to do it on your turn, because a lot of their combo cards are sorceries. So that's another important thing to know about playing this deck. Well, against it. The other thing to remember is this deck's really landlight, and it basically has no win condition turn 1, or game 1, except for the weird. Even though this is a very different build, Postmortem Lunge is a cool idea. Lets him get the card back, the the weird back, to combo off again. I guess he's running black instead of red, or maybe he's running both. Um, the lists that I've played against have all been blue-red, um, and everything has basically drawn them a card. As you can see, tons and tons of card draw. I'm really not too worried about Ideas Unbound. Just for the simple fact that I have enough control that I should be able to pretty easily stop his deck. Now the other thing you'll notice about this particular list is I'm not running 60 cards. There's very few times that I will do this. Normally the only times that I will do this is when I'm playing a control deck. The reason that I'm running 60 cards is basically so I can run 4 Tectonic Edges main deck. I've just found that 3, while good, um, isn't quite enough against some of the Tron decks and against the mirror match. So I went ahead and added the 4th Tectonic Edge in, and gonna see what he's doing here. Looks like, I mean, he just keeps digging and digging and digging. You know, this is when you wish we had Stifle in Modern. Um, there's the there's a spell that's like Stifle. It's not quite as good, but like the 1 mana is pretty crucial, and like I could see me running those instead of Shadow of Doubt in this. Here I'm gonna go ahead and let this resolve, and then end of his turn, I'm probably gonna blow up both of his non-basic lands. The reason behind that is it keeps him off colors. And that's pretty important. Um, if you can keep him off his alternative colors, where he just has blue to work with, it limits what he's able to produce and what he's able to do for the combo elements of it. Pyromancer's Ascension. Okay, so he's running the deck. It's just a little bit different build. I'm gonna go and spell snare that. Um, Pyromancer's Ascension can just get out of control really quickly, and we don't want that. So keeping them off red and black, red and blue. Sorry, red and black. I'm speaking this morning. Um, the other thing that's important to remember is that your graveyard's like your second hand with this deck because you're running 4 Snapcaster Mages. Um, and so there's a lot of times that, you know, you have to realize that, okay, I don't have counter in hand, but I do have, you know, 2 in the graveyard. I'm going to go ahead and get a little aggressive here and electrolyze him. And I'm comfortable with electrolyzing again here. Just to get something going. Um, you know, with the way I had this deck built in particular, it's not it's not as fast or as aggressive as Shahar's version is. And so one of the things you have to do because of that is you have to really play around the, you know, I'm going to go ahead and get this swirl right here. You kind of have to play around the fact that they can, you don't have a whole lot of threats. So like Colonnade, game 1 is pretty big, and then my Planeswalkers are pretty big, especially versus his deck. Planeswalker's pretty strong. So I have a couple options here. I can Lightning Helix this at the end of the turn, or I can Snapcaster and Electrolyze it next turn. But I really feel that the Lightning Helix, while I have it in hand, is a pretty good idea to just get it off the board. Gonna go ahead and get Colonnade out. I'm gonna go ahead and play Steam Vents here just because I'm not too worried about the Mesa. Um, and because he keeps probing is the reason that I keep Snapcaster Mage open. Because it has a lot of search effects, and this deck can really get to a search engine like to the weird, untap, and kill you very, very quickly. And sometimes they don't even need the weird to kill you. Um, so it's really, really important to leave mana open for the I'm gonna go ahead and stop that. It's really important because you have to respect what your opponent potentially has in his hand um, to leave counter magic open. Because this, like I said, the deck can just very easily get out of hand. And Gideon's just huge for us right here. It gives us a viable threat on the board. It gives him a clock to have to deal with. Um, Gideon plus Colonnade, because now I'm finally at the point where I can Colonnade, Snapcaster, and Mana Leak, or Snapcaster and burn a creature off the board. Um, I'm fairly comfortable with, go ahead and starting attacking. And that's a two-turn clock right now that he's looking at with Gideon on the board. And so basically has to decide, am I going to, you know, worry about killing Gideon, or am I going to worry about trying to win the game? You know what? The only thing I can think of that he's looking for here is the lunge. So I'm going to go ahead and spell snare that again. I don't know why he keeps probing when he knows, like, the only thing I can think he's using the probe for is to recycle his hand. Oh, that's awesome. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with my two-turn clock. And actually, I just win the game right here. Okay, against him, I'm really liking engineered explosives. I really like Teferi. I really like Thundermaw, just to give me some more threats. And I really like Baneslayer, because that takes me out of his combo range pretty easily. Um, Path, while normally useful, isn't really good against his deck. Um, Even though it can remove his creature from play, there's so many of them that it rarely matters. Spell Snare's actually not that great against him, even though you saw me use it a couple of times. There's only a handful of spells that in the deck that can counter. Um, Most of his stuff costs one or less. That's why the Engineered Explosives is really good. Um, However, Counterflex is really good, and Shadow Doubt has basically no effect on him whatsoever. This hand's not all that exciting. Um, it doesn't have counter magic, but it does have really good mana, and it has a lightning bolt and a snapcaster mage, so I should be able to keep him off winning for the first couple turns. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Okay, because the way he played, I'm basically going to shock myself and bolt it. Because I don't want to lose the game right now. Um, Here, I think the right play is to go ahead and get the Colonnade out. Because next turn I can either play a Tarn or a Falls. Or Events untapped, depending on what he's doing. I actually just like the Vents untapped here. Yeah, I'm fine with the Elixir of Immortality. Um, Gonna go ahead and hit Falls up. Yeah, I'm fine with the Manamorphose. Pyromancer's Ascension. Okay, now I'm gonna have to race him at this point. Unless I can get it, the Engineered Explosives. Because that deals with the Ascension pretty well. So, in that light, gonna go ahead and get Gideon out. Gideon's a great race target. Um, because I was explaining earlier, it's just a really quick clock. Um, Gideon by himself is a 4-turn clock. Oh, and he has it right here with me tapping out. I'm gonna go and make him play it out just so y'all can see. Now the other thing to remember is that this is one of those decks that even though it works a lot of the times, it doesn't work all the time. So once they start comboing, I'll normally hit F6, which is the auto yield. But make them play it out. It's kind of like eggs, that if you make them play it out a lot of times, you know, they'll they either won't draw into the combo or they'll mess them up along the way. Yeah, so he's only able to attack for 7 here. So I'm going to be able to untap, kill the weird, and plus Gideon, I think is the right call. That's the other thing, is Gideon makes him attack Gideon, which is really, really effective. And that's just an example of the combo breaking. That lightning helix makes me a little more comfortable with attacking. Because now I have 2 ways to deal with his weird at instant speed. And I can also throw a Snapcaster Mage out in front of an attacker. So now he's going to see that while I don't have counters, I do have a lot of removal. And I can also pretty easily burn him out from here. Like, if he can't kill me this turn, I'm going to just cast both burn spells, targeting him, untap with Gideon, and go for the win. So he's going to kill Gideon here, because he sees that. Well, he should kill Gideon if he doesn't. I should rephrase that. But he seems to be a pretty good player so far, so he'll probably make the right play. Yeah. I'm still sticking to the plan. But I'm going to change it up just a little bit because of the way he played and killed my Gideon. I'm going to Snapcaster, bolt him. Yeah, and then he just realized that I have enough to kill him on my turn. Um, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll have some more on the article after this.